Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Linda from lindaspapercraft.co.uk and it is January the 1st 2026. Wow, Happy New Year. And we are on our week 1 of January's Coffee and Card, and we're using the With You in Mind stamp set, which is from the annual catalogue. I've started labelling things now so I know where they're from, and also then when they retire they do that. So anyway, there we go, I digress. So we are using the With You in Mind, and also in your kits you have 1/4 of a pack of Timeless Plaid Designer Series paper, which coordinates with loads of different colours, lots of lovely. And what we're looking at this month largely is male cards for men. We all struggle with this, so I thought, do you know what, we'll go for it. So this is our card number 1, and I've used 2 stamps on this one, as you can see, and we've just used some columns and then a background. So it's a general layout I use quite a lot, and it's just nice and simple. So but I'm going to do a different colorway this time. So right, so we have in your kit, you will have a load of tartan papers. So as I say, that one was a blue square that I use, so it's this one. So I'm still using the base paper I use, but I'm going to use this instead because I quite like that. Okay, so I'm still sticking with the Calypso Coral, so make sure you go with one that goes with the Calypso Coral. So we've got a few pieces of card, all the measurements are down below, and then we've got some white for the inside, and I've used a tent fold because I do prefer a tent fold when they're landscape. Okay, so I need to do some cutting first, so let's pop all that out of the way, everything out of the way, and leave the card there and just get out my trimmer. So for the blue one, I am going to cut. Now, what I always say, 6x6 paper, shortest cut first. Okay, shortest cut first, because that gives you the biggest amount of paper left to do something else with. Right, so the block is 12.5 centimeters by 6.5, so we'll do the 6.5 first. So 6.5. So you've got a huge piece to use on another card. Okay, and then 12.5 centimeters there. Okay, and then get your other piece, your coordinating piece. So this is 10.5 centimeters by 8.5, and then you cut it into strips. So again, 8.5 centimeters first, always shortest cut first. So 8.5, again, nice little strip to use on something else, and then 10.5. So there we go. And then we're going to cut this actually into 3.5 centimeter strips. So that is, excuse me, just double check. Yes. So they are going to be 3.5 by 8.5, these strips. Okay, so that's 1, 2, and the next one's going to be, because 3.5 is 10.5. So that's 3, and I try, doesn't always help, and keep them in order. This one's easier. That one was a nightmare to try and work out when I got them out of order, how to put it together. Right, so I'm now going to get my sentiment piece, and I am going to stamp my happy birthday onto it. So I'm using Smoky Slate. Any of the greys will do. Memento Black works nicely. Memento Black stamped off works nicely as well, actually. Do have a look. Have a try on your grid paper before you do it, before you actually commit to card. But it does look rather nice, I think, the stamped off Memento Black. But if you've got Smoky Slate, or you could use Calypso Coral. So trying, there we go. So just cool. Happy birthday. So don't quite know what brought that up. Right, so let's just glue those 2 pieces together, then we'll assemble the card. So Now, so the way I've done this is there's 1/2 centimetre between each piece on the 3. Well, let's just, before I press that down, just doing your fine adjustments and then press it down. Okay, so what I did was pop that on there, just using a little piece of dye tape. I'm going to hold that little if you want to do it by eye, just do it by eye, that's fine. But if you want to use your grid paper, this is how I did it. Right, so we are going, yep, yeah, so we'll start with this one. So you're going 1 centimetre up and 1/2 centimetre in. Okay, so it's going there. Right, so a little bit of glue in the middle. I'll probably go a bit further. If you put it on there, you can see where you can go to. Right, so that is, so we're going 1 up, 1/2 in, there. Just moved it up very, it's all right having wiggle room, it's when it wiggles and you didn't want it to. Okay, so that's nice and straight. Okay, and then I'll do the other end, and again, if you just line it up, it looks quite nice this way up actually. Not sure, I don't prefer it that way up. Too late now. You could do the middle one the other way up. So 1 centimetre down, 1/2 centimetre in. Again, you can just do this by eye. But why would you when you've got grid paper? And then the final piece. And yeah, I've turned it over. So 1/2 centimetre from each of those and 1 centimetre up. So each of these grid squares is 1/2 centimetre. And there we go. Cool. Okay, and that's just going to stick on the front of the card. So, and then you can stamp the inside with best wishes if you want, or you can just leave it plain, or use any other stamps you've got, that's fine. So I'm just going to glue, and I'm only going to glue the blue, trying to take the lid off when the lid's already off. Okay, so there we go. I'm just going to pop that in the middle. So roughly, and then just adjust and then press it down. How cute, that's so quick. And then I'm just going to get a few dimensionals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and add that on, and that's card number 1 done. So all the measurements and supplies will be down below. And there we go. So, so which one do you prefer? And I'll just pop this. I'm actually not going to put, because there's a lot of us in our family. So trying to fit everyone down underneath. So I'm going to find another, somewhere out of my stash, another sentiment to put in the middle there. So I'm not going to glue that down just now. I'll just leave it loose. Okay. But there you go. So you take care, and I will see you all next week even. Bye.